strongest mid laner, often left open. Zoe has been a pretty common pick in this spot. In drafts, 100 Thieves, so a lot of flexibility. Zoe does kind of make your strategy options a little more narrow. You don't really run her outside of mid lane.
Yeah, you know that she's probably going mid lane. There's probably not going to be a smite attached to her, and so Mickey will be piloting that one. So they don't have to ban Talon in the next phase or have to worry about that. The Talon was a great pop-off performance for Mickey yesterday. Today, it's his birthday. We'll see if he has a birthday-like performance on Zoe.
Well, we'd love to go 2-0. Not a bad present, as Mundo already locked in by 100 Thieves. Trundle will join in for traditionally the jungle position. We'll see if Ander is going to be doing that or something different and back to support duty.
Yeah, and this means like contracts to play something like the Graves, which gives them physical damage from the jungler, and it also makes it so that they can go against the Trundle. And there's the Heimerdinger for Deathly. He was hand-taught by Heisendong himself.
Still a good time to pick Graves if they can get it, but they instead complete their bot lane, I assume. Heimerdinger and Fiddlesticks. I never thought I'd say this was the terror of the LCS, but that's kind of where we are. These two champions, it's one of the strongest bot lanes you can currently field.
Yeah, but we've seen a lot of North Americans kind of pilot this duo, and it hasn't been as oppressive as it's been from the European teams when we saw it. And it's funny because I think it was Dracos over in the EU LCS said watching NA players play this combination is kind of like that kid in calculus who looks over at your paper to copy, and then when he's actually called on for the question, he has no idea, but he had the answer. He has no idea how he got there, but he's got the answer. But definitely was taught by Heisendong himself with one trick in NA solo queue for Heimerdinger about how to do the combos. And so he's actually had a lot longer time than everybody else on this Heimerdinger. You think back to even the week before Rift Rivals, Golden Guardians had Heimerdinger banned against them before we even saw it on the international stage.
Well, I see a bunch of champions with pretty good ranged abilities, and Yasuo seems like a relatively good answer. Ryu, I assume, taking that one into the Zoe matchup, so could be something more standard here for 100 Thieves. They'll ban a top laner usually, especially with Heimerdinger already showing, as Darius will be taken off the table. Seen a lot of these kind of fighters into Mundo trying to take down the tank. If you can find a way to get ahead in the matchup and kill the Mundo, it's usually a good thing. If you can't kill the Mundo, things go wrong very quickly.
Yeah, you can't kill the Mundo, well, you're going to need more sustained damage, so we're going to find a different damage source, a physical damage source you would hope from Golden Guardians that can be in the jungle or the top lane here. But for 100 Thieves, I'm looking for a magic damage source here from them, particularly something like a Brand, but this means Cody Sun would be playing a non-marksman in the bot lane.
Can only throw so many cleavers, Zyrene.
Yeah, that's true. If he goes something like Kai'Sa, then it would be a little bit different.
That's true, actually. Have to keep that in mind. Varus also kind of fits that mold. We did see Pyke and, I almost said Aphromoo, Pyke and Alistar banned away from Aphromoo. Going to take some of those playmakers away, and looks like your read might be solid there. Actually, Varus for Cody here.
Yeah, does build pretty much AP items,
yep,
Rageblade Nashers, Death Cap, Zonias, so you do have a little bit more magic damage instead of just physical. I want to see how this matchup works, though, because from my understanding, playing a low mobility marksman in the bottom lane up against Heimerdinger plus Fiddlesticks is kind of why Heimerdinger Fiddlesticks became a thing. Point and click fear into grenade means they're going to have to draft something potentially like a Tom Kench from Aphromoo to keep him safe. And make sure that they don't end up in a situation where he's just constantly getting just bombarded.
Well, you're asking about AD threats. There's actually Gangplank for Lolo, I have to assume, there into the Mundo. I think something like Graves, or we even saw Xin Zhao hovered there for contracts, also could make some sense, but looks like they're considering maybe a different jungle pick to do something a little more with this comp. Instead, they'll pick the early aggressive jungler.
I like that, though. I like the Xin Zhao. It gives them another source of physical damage alongside the Gangplank. So they're 2 and 2, basically, in terms of like big AP threats, and I would say 2.5 if you want to consider the Fiddlesticks as a big AP threat with the ultimate, because he definitely is. So I like the damage palette from Golden Guardians. The thing here, though, is I want to see what happens in that top lane, because it's going to be a neutral lane, but it's who affects the rest of the map. Because Lorlo on this GP should be able to just kind of farm money with a Kleptomancy, make sure that he doesn't go all in or anything like that, and then try to make sure that someday doesn't get through the lane phase too low. Because it's a lane where if you leave this alone, they'll just go even, and the GP will scale a bit. I would say a little bit better, but not too much better.
I mean, it's kind of an interesting watch, right? Because there's a really good front line here with a Yasuo and a Marksman here on the 100 Thieves side. For Golden Guardians, a lot more damage, a lot more threats, but not nearly as much tankiness to have a more conventional team fight.
Yeah, and also the fact that the GP is there, and we just talked about Varus' low mobility. having the GP ultimate on top of Varus as a marksman player is one of the worst feelings in the world. Cannon barrage comes down, you can't really move, you have to move out of it before you start dealing damage and moving, and I think the Thresh from Aphromoo should help with that in an ideal situation where you throw the Lantern on it.
I think it's a very similar idea to what you had on Tahm Kench, but not conceding too much lane pressure with a more aggressive support like Thresh. So definitely some fun stuff. It is interesting to see 100 Thieves move away from the funnel for the first time in, I believe, the 5-game win streak that they're still currently on, looking to make it 6 with something more standard, and Heimerdinger is continuing to make appearances here in the NALCS, but it is perhaps the one true apprentice that will show off here in the bot side. We'll see what Deftly can do with his hands on feels like the NALCS's newest comer to the bot lane.
Yeah, having the Heimerdinger, having the Fiddlesticks. I'm excited for this, though, because we have seen Golden Guardians pull out new things, especially yesterday. The Talon Smite mid, the Soraka, the Jhin with Hail of Blades, and now we're seeing them once again showing that they did a lot of adaptation. They did not take the Rift Rivals week as a week off, and they took it as a week where they got to practice. And you heard Coach Tyler talk about it, where he was like, 100 Thieves, they were in an international tournament. They were getting that tournament meta down. They were not even using their full roster that they intended to start in the NALCS. And Golden Guardians, meanwhile, putting that time to good use.
Yep, learning how to play against Heimer in seat in tournament. I definitely was practicing all week long. 100 Thieves and Golden Guardians spread out across Summoner's Rifts. Looks like right now everyone's just kind of hanging out, getting some neutral vision. Matt might be wondering does have Darkwind skilled up if he wants to try and get aggressive.
Look at Deftly, he's doing the jat. He's doing the jat.
He watched yesterday.
He watched it. He's also got private lessons from Tyson Tong, so he's just walking between turrets like that. Asleep, bubble, contracts waiting.
Yep, going for the kill, under flushing already, but that's the follow flash. Darkwind ignite down. Looking for the first blood. Who's going to grab it? Contract doesn't grab it. It's Mickey that finishes it off.
Happy birthday! Birthday boy, first blood for Mickey.
Feels good, man, as a Zoe to get that first blood.
Yeah.
To go back to base and spend his cash as well.
It's like
early birthday present.
Contract sitting there with Matt saying, don't say I don't ever get you anything.
And that's it. That's all he gets.
Everybody gets one. If first blood, though, that means he gets to go back. He gets to get that Doran's Ring plus the Corrupting Potion. And this is Contract spotting it. Mickey with the bubble. Everybody walks forward. They wait the duration. Really well done there. And then the flash is after. That's 2 flashes, an ignite for a flash and a kill. And as long as that isn't something that gets exploited, then Mickey's going to be in a really good spot up against this Yasuo.
Yep, certainly a player that we are looking for to continue to have good performances on the Golden Guardians. So see if Mickey can convert that early first blood and the Doran's Ring. He's picked up into a bigger lane lead. However, Heimerdinger things are happening in the bot lane. The very quick push here with the Heimer Fiddle.
Yeah, one of the things about Heimerdinger I've noticed is it's very difficult to last hit with Heimerdinger if you haven't put so many games into it. Like even yesterday, I remember watching Arrow, and he was down in CS, not because he was like losing lane, because he was shoving so fast, and he wasn't making those last hits, because the turrets do very little damage to these minions, and then things happen where it's like, oh, auto attack comes through, you don't build AD items or attack or anything.
There are birds flying around.
There's birds flying around, that's true.
Sometimes there's soil on the ground.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised too that it's an airy from Matt, because I've seen a lot of Aftershock Fiddlesticks that go for the fear after the ultimate to make sure that they're in a good spot. And remember, the Onda has no flash here.
Not in dash range though. Ryu instead going to get aggressive onto Mickey, who just missed the bubble. Really smart trade there from the Yasuo.
Yeah, but you got to watch out later in the game too for Ryu, because the pillar into the knockup, making the last breath activatable, is something you always have to watch out for in these fights. And Aphromoo can also set up the ultimate from Ryu, who did have a really good game yesterday on Vladimir, and today is sporting the Yasuo with Cleanse to make sure that you can get out of some bubbles.
Yep. So the push continues. Oh, fell asleep there. Looks like a little late on the win wall.
And I guess the you'd know more about this than I would, where the Zoe basic attack that's empowered is it doesn't count as a projectile.
Yeah, it doesn't. But don't tell these people I play these two champions. Good cleanse from Ryu, gets out of that bubble. Like you said, has to have that tool.
I'm sorry
to get away.
I exposed it.
Now everyone knows I'm a Zoe Yasuo player. What have you done?
But you're a really nice person. You're like the complete opposite of what I would expect with a Zoe Yasuo
That's
player.
what you think. As Lolo here in the top side will finally check in. Getting the Klepto money, but Someday going to chase him down. This is the Mundo special.
He's trying to get inside of the minions to make sure that Someday can't chase him down. Nah, there he goes. Ooh, almost landed the grenade there for a stun, but the bounces come through. And right now, Onda's behind, going for the gank.
All right, 4 sums here. So both bot lanes actually, but Under trying to wrap around. Good fear from Matt to start it off. Pillar already down. Matt maybe have to run away. Flash play. We're going to get it down. Ignite is good. But there's the missiles. Definitely able to get the kill in a 2v3.
Oh, wait, he's going to actually keep going and potentially even turn this around more.
Cody's so low.
Yeah, Cody's got to run away out of the lane. Definitely. Wait, definitely has flash. Is he going to flash rocket? No, he's not going to go for it. It's too bold of a play.
All right. Doesn't do it. Instead, back to the wave. He's going to apply some pressure. I don't think Cody can stay here, so definitely knows he can push this in pretty safely.
Yeah, he's going to go.
He's going to look, try and cancel the back. Does do so, but Cody, no missiles hit. As we'll watch this play again.
Yeah, this is really well done here. They have a turret set up. They have 2 turrets. The fear there onto Afromoon to stop, so he has to actually burn the flash to go for the play. Then the ignite from Matt to counter after the flash. And then definitely with the presence of mind just to throw out the W and make sure that he gets that kill. Because right there, you even see, that was, I believe, the magic damage shield there coming out. The nullifying orb from Cody's son was popped. So almost actually killed him too. And ooh, whoa.
Such a close angle there on the hook by Afro, but doesn't quite tag Mickey. Still Ryu continuing to apply pressure, and I think Afro may be figuring that, you know, the bot lane, not so fun right now, just getting pushed in, trying to get out and affect the map in other places. But so far, the early game has been in the favor of Golden Guardians. Up almost 1,000 gold as definitely TP's back to lane with his lost chapter finish.
Yeah, and one of the best things about this lane isn't just the fact that you pressure the turret and you can potentially take it very early on in the game with this duo lane. It's that you always have pressure on this side of the map, and that means that your jungler gets to go towards Drakes, they get to go towards the bottom side, and never have to really worry about, hey, these guys are going to be able to rotate faster because they're underneath their turret having to deal with minions a lot of the time.
Again, Cody going to try and attack down the turrets, but just summons another one as Contracts. Looking for something here in mid lane.
I don't think he was spotted.
6 there for Ryu, Bubble's going to miss. Contracts now just trying to get his mid lane around. Now they dive back in onto Under. Actually, Redemption down. Might be enough to try and take it. Mickey able to get it. Cannon Barrage to help him out, but now Lawler getting jumped on by Someday. Gonna have to juke around. He doesn't have flash. He eats the oranges. He needs to get back to the menu wave. Someday trying to take him down. Runs him under the turret for a solo kill, but now Ryu.
Ooh, the tip!
Tagged by the W. Barely gets it. Mickey flash. Picked one up off the ground. Gets the kill on a killing spree now.
Oh my god, the fact that Contracts just got him with the tip of the spear there, and then the flashes came through from Mickey.
It's the part that hurts the most. Whew. It makes sense to me, Zyrene. Mickey, though, 3 kills and counting here as we'll watch this exchange once more.
Yeah, they didn't spot Contracts on their control ward because he hugged the bottom side of the wall. Then the pillar came through, but Ryu wasn't in a position to take that knockup. They kill Onda because he doesn't have flash from the level 1 still. It's about to come back up. And Lorlo gets killed here by Someday, who has been playing like an absolute monster the entire time. But then Ryu flash, dropped it on the ground there. Mickey flashes into the flash. And that's one where he's half a screen away, and he still catches up to you. Flashing actually hurts you in that situation, but that's one where you just have to go unlucky for Mickey, or unlucky for Ryu, because Mickey had picked up the previous flash and just picked one up.
Yep, and like we said, 3 kills and counting. Sork Shoes finished and 4 stacks on that Dark Seal. So pretty aggressive with the early itemization, trying to use this lead, see if you can't get around the map and abuse it a little bit more. Definitely a Matt. As we check back in though, turret down, about 25% of its health lost.
Yeah, and they aren't really playing to this side of the map just yet. They were playing to that middle top side. And so now I think the sides of the map become lopsided, where Lorlo wants to have his ultimate used on the bottom side, just kind of negate this matchup, just avoid this Mundo, become pretty non-interactive with him, and just farm the lane. It's okay to be behind, just farm the lane. And Golden Guardians should play to this bottom side with Contracts, because they have a really good advantage here with the Heimer push. The Cannon Barrage can help out in an instant. There's no TP from Someday. There's nobody who can help reinforce the bottom side. I think this is where you really need to play right now. And you can see he's already going for things like the blue buff and trying to just choke out that mid lane.
Yep, level 6 as well, so it can look to get quite aggressive, even pretty close to finishing his warrior, and has the Skirmisher Saber already done. So certainly looking for Contracts to continue his aggressive streak. He's had a lot of good early games in these types of champions.
He's had really good early games, but then it's always the execution a little bit later, so somebody else has to like pick up the slack when Contracts gets a little bit relaxed in the matchups. And I think Mickey, with the 3-0 start for himself, is the perfect candidate to do so. This guy was picked up because of the mechanics. It was something that was talked about, whispered about. We saw him in Academy last split, and he was a coin flip player. So far, it came up heads way more often than tails yesterday. Today, it started off on the right foot for Golden Guardians. And remember, probably was even saying, Mickey's a hard player to prepare for. because you don't always know. He's got those moments where he's super brilliant. And here, looks like another one might be coming right now. The rotation, the pressure.
Here it comes, 4-man here from Golden Guardians under the turret. There's the first bubble gonna land. Goodbye, Cody. Goodbye, Afro. Golden Guardians with a clean dive.
Yep, Lorlo gets in on the assists too, gets some money on top of it. And they get that first turret. They want to give it over. Goes over, split a little bit there, I believe, between some of the members.
Definitely going to be happy to collect that first turret. Gold Ryu trying to counter push here in mid, but Lolo actually going to roam in and farm up a different way for the time being. Is struggling a touch.
Yeah.
1v1 versus Someday, but
avoid it.
Too bad.
Avoid it. Like, Gangplank, you don't have to win your matchup. You don't have to even go even. You have to just be at a point where you aren't beating the person and they're taking over the game, because eventually you're going to be able to contribute very highly with your ultimate.
Hook does land. Might save the oranges as Drake does go over to Golden Guardians. They were trying to buy time for contracts as the lane swap is now happening. Someday already down to the long lane bot side, but let's watch this dive again first.
Yeah. You can see there's no control wards, there's no wards left, and that hook, woo, that was a magnetic hook, definitely, yeah. Oh, the flash away from the ultimate there, and then he threw out the ultimate with the grenades to pick up the first kill, and then the second one comes through with the rockets. So definitely, you can see, definitely the best Heimerdinger we've seen so far in the NALCS. Has an extra week of practice under his belt. So far, his accuracy with the grenades has been pretty on point.
Yep, big wave built up here as well. Going to get that shoving. Cody and Afro trying a bit of brush banditry there.
I like it. Down bottom. Looks like Lorlo, no flash. He's going to get dove here.
Doesn't clear up enough. Does have his no ulti. Pops the stopwatch instead. Someday going to pop his ulti. Here's the TP down. Going to try and get some help. Lorlo trying to kite it out. Someday with his own stopwatch under. Able to get the kill. The TP countered by the Guardians. And another nice dive in the bot side, this time for 100 Thieves.
Yeah, it was a TP that was coming through from Deftly. Aframu walked up, chased him, and threw out a hook that he then canceled the teleport so that he'd have the extended cooldown on it. But look at this, Matt. Behind, looking for Cody.
Crowstorm, nope. Instead, Terrify pops the drain and the Dark Wind. A lot of damage to the Varus.
It's all basic abilities, too. That's just something where the Fiddlesticks, this support with spell penetration boots and the Frostbang, just got Cody Sun to half HP. Someday we'll get this turret on the bottom side and even up the turret count, but now Golden Guardian's going to try to make a power play for the top side, and so you can see Onda's on his way to try and reinforce.
Yeah, pretty big tempo shift here, though, on the side of the Thieves. Felt like things were a bit of a struggle, but Someday able to get a good foothold in his matchup and at least even up the turrets.
Yeah, Lorlo has Cannon Barrage in about 10 seconds, so I'm expecting something to happen around that timer, where I'm watching contracts right now on the minimap to see if he's going to roam up to the top side, sync that up with Lorlo having the Cannon Barrage available, and then they maybe make a roam off of that at that time.
Yep, helps that Mickey still has a lead in mid as well, so pretty effective roamer. He's able to push in Ryu and keep the lead there.
Someday's here, and I don't think they're expecting this on the side of Golden Guardians. Contracts went in.
Yeah, they see him now. Afro and Cody already collapsing. Contract burns the ulti. Here's a Crowstorm in from Matt. Contract's over the wall, finds it as Mickey on a rampage. Gets the bot lane again. 100 Thieves still trying to fight it out, but Ryu, he's gone so far forward to try and make a play, and it's just given him nothing. Mickey, a triple kill now for the birthday boy as he tries to chase down more.
6, 0, and 2 for Mickey. 100 CS at 12 minutes. Right now, this is basically, he's walking through going, you know what, it's a party just for me today.
Matt didn't even pick the skin. That's how ungrateful of a teammate he is.
Oh.
No surprise party today. I guess they knew it was his birthday. So.
Yeah, so no surprise there.
Well, still the turret pushing in. Looks like Cody TP'd up here to the top side, trying to keep the turrets at even keel, but Golden Guardians, just from these kills alone, a big gold lead starting to stack up. They got the first Drake, which was an Ocean, and now Contracts trying to take both major monsters off the map here. Usually you don't get both in these sorts of situations, but Golden Guardians will take both the first Drake and the Rift Herald.
Yeah, they get the Rift Herald, they get the Drake, they have 2 turrets, or sorry, 1 turret, and the top one is about to drop on top of it, and now they have the Rift Herald, which will help them secure a turret in the future. I would assume this will be used on the bottom turret, but if you really want a quick turret, they can go for the top one with it. But actually, the mid is half HP. You definitely go for mid here with Rift Herald, because the Rift Herald is better used on the harder to get turret, which is that mid lane.
Contract's already coming in hot, although he's actually going to channel back away.
Why not use the fast recall?
That's true. Got to get some values. We'll watch this exchange again. Someday he did start off in a good spot here, but Golden Guardians collapsed so well.
Yeah, and this right here, really well placed Crowstorm by Matt, and then there's just this Cannon Barrage on top of it. Someday tries to walk up, gets put to sleep, and Ryu was flanking from the side, and he doesn't really have anybody left that can actually help him out in that situation. That was a 4v5, but the trickle in from 100 Thieves made it, so it never really was a true 5-man squad.
Yep, no Thresh, no Trundle Pillar,
Yep.
no Tornado. Very tough for Yasuo to make a play there without a knockup. So instead it's Golden Guardians, and especially this man on your screen, Mickey, that reaps the benefits of these first 14 minutes.
I mean, a 10-stack Dark Seal this early into the game. I mean, I don't know if you'll buy Majai's. We rarely ever see it.
If there was ever a player, Mickey, I think, is the kind of guy that made us flip a coin and get Majai's on the other side. As Cody's still trying to fight these caster creeps off the turret. But pretty far away from his first major item, where it's definitely shoving waves in with impunity and a Luden's Echo.
Just putting pressure onto Ryu. Now they have 3 people in the mid. Contracts, yep, going to channel the Rift Herald. They're going to try to get this turret right now. But watch this on the side. Honda walked up. He almost got the pillar off in time onto Contracts to interrupt it. So now they're going to try to flank and make sure that they can put some pressure on them and make sure it's not a turret that they get to walk up and not have to use the Rift Herald.
Yeah, just have to escort Shelly to the turret. Does get the second charge off as well, but that should be about it. There's a bit of extra damage there on the tier 2.
But it means they get to use this pressure, rotate top, and potentially get that turret. So it's a Rift Herald that causes enough pressure, gets 2 charges off, and makes it so that they get 2 turrets for it. And I guess 2.5 counting that mid one.
4,000 gold in the lead so far. Matt, not going to cancel that recall. No vision in that brush, but still, like you said, good coverage on the left side there from Golden Guardian, just to make sure definitely can take down another turret. And once again, Golden Guardians find themselves in a position with a very, very strong gold lead, this time against the #1 team.
And Golden Guardians, they talked about how they've wanted to just refine their own game. Don't focus on what others are doing. Get your own game down.
Maybe the bubble doesn't quite land, but still might be enough. The knockup's good. Low over to take down Anda. Golden Guardians continuing to find picks here.
They're going to go for this tier 2 turret top, and they've already got the mid one down to half. And the 100 Thieves composition sucks at wave clearing. It's got a Yasuo, got to walk up and melee these creeps. It's got a Varus, 575 range, and pass through the arrow isn't that great either. Versus a Heimerdinger, a Zoe, even a GP, I would say, is better wave clear. So these turrets just periodically take a decent amount of damage every few waves because they're just so hard to clear these mini waves out.
There's no current answer for Deathly's relentless push. Now it's hard on a Cody. He pops the ult and does flash away, but the cannon barrage is going to keep him out of that fight and cover Golden Guardians for their 4th turret of this game.
Yep, and now they're just systematically pulling 100 Thieves apart. And Golden Guardians, right now, they're trying to even up the score. The 4 wins they had in summer, it took them 9 weeks to get there. They're going to hit 4 wins in week 4 here. It'll be their first 2-0 weekend in the history of the organization, and they could stop 100 Thieves win streak.
We'll see if they can close it out, see if they can indeed hold the streak. But Golden Guardians yesterday got a very good lead and fumbled in the mid-game. Cloud Drake is the 2nd overall objective for that one. Goes over to the Guardians, is again all good stuff, but they kind of got themselves in quite the pickle yesterday. See if they can be a little cleaner here, taking down 100 Thieves, but certainly poised to do so with a just about 6,000 gold lead as the 100 Thieves, just trying to fight back and knock down some of these turrets to grab gold.
Yeah, they're trying to get something here, but right now, I think this is where you hit a very critical part of the game, because Golden Guardians are so freaking strong right now. Mickey Zoe has 33 magic penetration. He does true damage to Cody's son. He does true damage to Aphromoo. He almost does true damage to Ryu, and he takes away half of the MR of Anda with just the 2 items he has from the Oblivion Orb and the Sword Shoes. Then you throw on the Luden's Echo normal power spike, and then there's that 10-stack Dark Seal that you have to factor into the equation that's giving him a lot of AP, plus the magic penetration he has at this point in the game. So Mickey is definitely fed at this point. This is where you watch him to see, can they close these games out? Because Baron's not on the table for 2 minutes. You don't want to keep the pressure off of 100 Thieves for 2 minutes to set that thing up. You want to keep the pressure on them, get more picks, get more gold, get that top lane tier 2 turret, potentially even look to close the game out. But if you have to go about it systematically and you get a little scared, the Baron is kind of where you need to play around.
Yeah, for Mickey, it was a thrilling highlight reel yesterday that just pushed Golden Guardians over the line. In Academy, though, he was always known for making those big plays in spring. And again, you flip the coin and see what you got. We'll see if Mickey can kind of show off more of that newer consistency, as Lolo is doing a nice job playing defensive, has the Trinity Force, has the Executioners. At this point, he's just trying to keep Someday from giving 100 Thieves more gold.
Yeah, Someday is actually just a ticking time bomb right now. He's level 13. He's the highest level in the entire game. We're talking about Mickey's fed. Someday is fed. He's 2 levels higher than Lorlo, and he's got the highest CS in the game as the Flipbush Mundo. So he's almost like an inevitability if he is going to be strong. He's actually ahead of the curve right now, and nobody can deal with him. So he basically just takes the jungle. I think he's going to go for the red buff right now, too. And it becomes very difficult to deal with. And hook onto Contracts.
Pro Sword. No, that's a kill, but no, Matt trying to go in over. TP's coming in. Contracts finally goes down. We have to take him out, but the Ignite is burning him down. Contracts able to get the kill. Under's going to fall as well. 100 Thieves thought they had it there.
But now the wave clear is basically completely gone from 100 Thieves. They might just give up a turret and an inhibitor. Someday is backing right now. He's very late on this rotation. He didn't TP, and he hasn't backed until just now.
Maybe thought it was a bad situation. We'll never know if he was right.
That's a hit!
Because it did go over. Bubble is good. Mickey looking for the one shot. Does grab it. Legendary. As he slays Aframu. The inhibitor falls with it as well. And Golden Guardians, 8,000 gold up and kicking in this game.
And Mickey is feeling it right now. 8-0-4. He's only missed out on a single kill this game as this Zoe. He is popping off. And you are seeing why they subbed him in, why they brought him onto this roster is for that mechanical carry potential.
Make it turret number 6 for Golden Guardians as Baron just ticks over to spawn now. 20 minutes through and Golden Guardians are unbelievably far ahead of 100 Thieves. Time to go back, spend that gold, buy a few more birthday presents, and see if you can't close out this game with one inhib already felled.
And right here, Contracts gets ultied by Cody's son, pulled in by Aframu so that the awareness doesn't matter that much on the Contracts ultimate. But then Matt comes in, fears Onda, and then the silence bounces across them. Ryu can't get out until he's finished the job with Contracts, and then that's 2 people dead because just the cannon barrage causes so much disruption. Gangplank is a very powerful champion when he's able to just throw down the ultimate in team fights while he's farming up gold in the side lane, able to contribute in kind of like a tertiary way, I would say, where he's off on the side.
Certainly a kind of interesting champion to play with, but so far has been effective despite kind of a tough laning phase here for Lolo. And credit to Someday for how well he has played.
He's almost
still, still 80 CS ahead also of Lolo.
Someday is 40 CS ahead of the next highest person in the game. He's split pushing. He's the highest level in the game. He's just basically trying to actually 1v9.
I mean, we've seen it before. His Jax play already pushed 100 Thieves out of the grave from the brink of death and into a victory. He's going to take down a turret here. The only other one 100 Thieves have got, and Someday grabbing it solo.
He's keeping him in the game. The way this is like, remember that Jax play where he 4-man stun saved the damn game before? Somebody's trying to do that just from a macro perspective right now, having this window 3 levels up over Lorlo, 2 levels up now. But he is just in this place where he is able to cause pressure. He's the only person on the team that causes pressure right now, where everybody else has to kind of just hold. So Someday, he's keeping 100 Thieves in this game, and he is how they win this.
And Golden Guardians, they know that, all right, Lolo, you have your ulti. You're relatively effective. Just farm up, try not to die and lose too much. And we'll win the rest of the map in this 4v4. Already have supers pushing there in the mid lane, and definitely is working on another inhibitor turret here. Also, Baron to fall back to if they need it, but I don't think Golden Guardians are trying to be too risky right now.
Yeah, they know that the Baron could be stolen, but right now... Oh, wait, look at that. TP flank from Someday. He's going to try to get into the back line here. They're trying to siege, protect this turret. And Someday, he's a long way away, though. They have to kind of stall, wait for the re-engage. And now it's time for 100 Thieves to make the counter attack.
Yeah, they caught Matt, but now they're actually going to sleep up Someday and try and take him down. Contract lands in. Matt again. Crowstone's back over. Almost takes down Ryu by himself. Mickey pops the watch. He's going to keep himself alive, but Someday flashes in and gets the shutdown. Matt, though, still zoning everybody else as Lolo walks up from the bot lane to join the fight. And Someday, he tried such heroics, but Cody dead to Matt. Lolo finally kills Someday. And it's Golden Guardians going in. Lolo, the flash barrel style to try and seal the game.
Oh, wait, Ryu.
Contracts again, dancing around Ryu, but definitely here. Needs to block it up. The missiles are good. Ryu is doing what he can. He's got the last breath. Might be able to make it happen. Instead, it's definitely that takes him down. Golden Guardian's going to look to close the game.
And that would be a 23.5-minute game here if they're able to get these turrets. They're going after Onda. Both turrets are up.
He's going down, gets stunned by the grenade and taken down. Still the next turret's alive. Lolo dead. Does die to Onda. The turrets taking him out. As you can see, the assistance pings on the top inhib, despite what had just transpired in the base. I believe that inhib lived. It did.
Oh my god, it did. They didn't go for the top lane inhib.
They went for the game, and it was very close, Irene.
It was very close. The turret shot difference there. Lolo staying alive, they potentially close. But then the flash play onto Matt. The miss there from Ryu because of the hourglass coming through from Matt. But this is where Someday flanks. He's on to Mickey. The cannon barrage actually chunked Cody out so much. Cody's finding almost no way to contribute to this fight. He gets to throw out a Q, gets to throw out a hail of arrows. Now he's out of mana. Ryu has to back. Someday is actually just 1v3, 1v4ing the back line. And that's how they win the game, is if Someday can do that. He's almost 100 CS above Lorlo. And that was almost a fight where 100 Thieves would be able to potentially win it. The Golden Guardians, 10k gold advantage, about to crest that mark. An Infernal Drake in their pocket. And ooh, good block there from Ryu.
Yep, does protect his red buff.
Ah, the Magi's.
Oh, he did?
As he dies. He died and got a Magi.
So is what happened. The contract's already burnt the ult. They're going to try and take down the front line. Matt, core into the back line. And it looks like 100 Thieves' time has finally run out. 3 still left alive, but it's Cody and Ryu already dead.
Someday, 100% HP though. Just gonna kind of, the story of the game can be summarized with this kind of screenshot right here. Someday, live, 100%. 5 members of Golden Guardians in the base.
That's Mundo, his binary HP number. He's either 0 or 1. It doesn't matter. Anything else after that, and he's probably going to live as Under takes the land Nova, but still goes drowsy. Golden Guardian's going to try and seal it all up. Looking to snap the win streak of 100 Thieves. They'll take down Afro. Raid boss Someday will finally be found as Mickey puts him to sleep for one more time. But Golden Guardians will upset the first place team and 2-0 for the first time in their history.
Play a first place team, 25 minutes on the clock. Easy win there for Golden Guardians. They all started popping off the back of Mickey. It started from minute 1.5.